Welcome to Three Devs and a Maybe, the podcast series for beginner web developers and general web enthusiasts. Now, introducing your show hosts, Michael Budd, Fraser Hart, Lewis Caines, and Ed Mann.
Hello, sweet world, and welcome to the Three Devs and a Maybe podcast. My name is Ed Mann, and I'll be your host for this evening. Today, I'm joined by the Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan of their esteemed sports, Mr. Lewis Caines and Grandmaster Sexy himself, Michael Budd. How are you two doing? And I'm not going to get this wrong. Lewis, how are you doing?
That was surreal.
It happened.
It
just happened.
Did you say Sweet World?
Sweet World.
Is it?
I'm stealing it off another podcast to listen to. I thought, you know what? Hello, Sweet World.
No. All right, we're going to have to redo that. We can't have any plagiarism of any kind.
How are you doing, Lee? How's your week been?
My week has been... It's good. Things are getting better, actually.
That's good, man.
They're slow. They're not slowing down, but I'm getting to the end of the pile, thankfully.
Oh, nice.
And,
so is this your freelance stuff at the moment?
Yeah, this is freelance project number 2. Thankfully, it turns out my client for this is the best client that you can ever have, to be honest.
Especially with the design stuff, that's definitely a nice thing to have.
Yeah, well, yeah, her whole reaction to that's been brilliant. You know, it's coming along quite nicely. You know, I'm obviously no design guru, but you know, I think I've managed to work around what she wants pretty well. And as I say, she's been really helpful, and she's been giving her input all the way through as well. So. It's been a two-way process, but thankfully, I had an imminent deadline for yesterday/today, and I got an email from her saying that I realised that this isn't practical. I haven't even given you everything you need yet, and you know, it's basically the website's turned out to be bigger than I thought,
and she understands. Wow, that is a dream client.
Well, I casually explained to her. I mean, we obviously know. I mean, when was the last time that you were given a website brief and it was, this needs to be done by this date and this is everything that needs to be done, and you go, oh, good.
Pretty much every time. So, absolutely. And having a client that actually understands that is very few and far between.
Yeah, websites never ever change after they start, do they? So we can always.
There's none of this, and could you just, or well, it would be better, or this isn't working out. Could I do something else? It's like, no, of course not. It's the deadline. Yeah, no, absolutely, that's awesome, man. Yeah,
so after a lot of late nights recently trying to get this done, she accepted today that it's not going to be a practical deadline. So yeah, we're looking at next week.
Did you show her what you've done? Because I remember you showing me this morning. Like that, you've done quite a bit though. I mean, it seems pretty much almost done, or is there just like the final bits to finish off?
There's a few more photos and there's 2 pages worth of content and just general tweaks really that she wants me to work through. So she's going to spend the next few days to get sort of go through those and then come back to me. But
great. Can we have her as a customer like every time?
That sounds good. Yeah,
that'd be great. Just clone her.
Yeah. Well, she said the pressure was off her now as well, because I think she obviously imposed the deadline and she wanted to meet it as well, and I think it was stressing her out as well. So. You know, that's how these things go sometimes.
Well, it's
isn't
good to have a realist as a client, which is very rare.
So
dear. So Mickey B, Grandmaster Sexy. I didn't mention that again.
Are you aware of this nickname?
I'm not saying that you're
not saying that you're not, obviously. But
I think it's a new nickname. Yeah, I've certainly not heard it.
It's happening now.
I'm not going to complain. I'm all for it. Yeah, it's good. My week.
Your week.
So yeah. So like I said the other week, finished uni, which is just a sense of relief. It was just amazing. Like, I had my last exam, so it's all good.
How did that go? Because I remember you saying that last time you were not confident, but surely you must.
I was trying to think if the podcast was before or after the exam, but yeah, it was.
It was before.
Wasn't it?
I know it was after the first exam where you had the mad dash to. That whole thing.
I was quite lucky that the questions that I thought would come up did come up. So I kind of gambled on 3 questions and they all came up. So I think it went all right, not too bad. I don't think I aced it or anything like that. But I think I've certainly passed it.
That's just awesome, man.
It's that first exam I'm worried about, to be honest. But
I'm sure you'll be. Everyone does. Personally, I hate exams. And they're so superficial in a way, because they're kind of at that time this stuff and you can cram for it, and it's not real. Everyone kind of goes, oh, coursework isn't, real, but it makes more sense. It's the real world, you're delivering.
It is the real world. That's how you work.
That's
in your
how you work.
day-to-day
Yeah, you're refactoring. You're it's not you're going to be there for 2 hours in a room which is quiet, and you're going to, the chair's going to creak, and you're thinking, oh, people, it's all that awkward thing. So absolutely agree.
I completely agree. But it's been good that I've been able to do a few things that I've been meaning to do for quite a while. Like,
explain.
Well, kind of. I think it's kind of merged from my hot pick, so I'll kind of split it up. But I guess one of the things that I've really struggled with the last year because of my uni work, which is it's been predominantly Java based, I guess, is trying to keep up with what's going on in the web world. Certainly
PHP. Focused. PHP.
In particular, and also I know I've spoken to you guys about traits for a long time, and I've kind of known what they do, but I've never ever used them. So it was nice to sort of play with traits the other day.
I did notice a blog post that came through.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I thought, oh, hang on, that's interesting. There's a certain name and a website that came up predominantly in that example, which
Edman and ESPN.com.
And ESPN, but exactly. Great tutorial. Yeah.
Well, it was very basic, and it does really what PHP.net does, but it kind of just gives a different context.
Absolutely, and that's what you want. You want an example that relates to what you're going to be dealing with the real world, and I think it's a good thing.
You guys both use traits, or not really as yet? Or
I've been fortunate with with the project that I'm now leaving, but the project that I've been on, I've been able to kind of dictate the language would be in PHP, but what version. So I've been 5.4, so I have been able to use traits.
Right.
I know that the new version of Laravel 4.2 now dictates that you want that it requires 5.4 because it uses traits for certain things.
Okay.
Because of the benefits of it and stuff. So I definitely agree that it is a very good, as you said in your blog posts and stuff, and I know I'm going to kind of bang with Scala and stuff, but it deals with the problem with multiple inheritance without having to do multiple inheritance with the problem of the diamond and all that crap. The stuff with C++ where everyone's like, but they do it wrong, and Java never did it. Now Java actually allows you then in I think it's 1.8 now, or version 8 that they call it, you're able to do in interfaces that actually have predefined methods, which is like traits.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just traits now. So and PHP was behind the whole idea of traits. I think they must have got the idea. I don't know where they got the idea from. Actually, maybe Scala or something along that lines. And it's a great way. The idea is so simple. Really, it's the idea of that I just want these methods in a lot of places, and I don't want to copy and paste.
Where I saw the biggest benefit. And this is probably like blasphemy now. I don't know, but. Like
ASP,
certainly, well, a lot of our legacy code at work. Obviously, we've moved from kind of procedural based to OO, but then we've got loads of include files that are just classic functions. So I can see a place for those actually that I can now start to refactor them, put them into nice trait files, and try and categorize them a little bit and tidy that up. I think that'll be invaluable for that kind of thing.
That's the thing. It's an interest because functions are never going to go away, because I think in PHP that's kind of a beautiful thing of PHP is that it kind of melds the worlds of OO and procedural.
Yeah.
And helpers are great because you don't have to make an instance. You don't have a static. Look, I want a function, and I have the helpers PHP and I require it, and I've got them.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. But as you say, having that kind of structure, and I think 5.6 is going to bring a lot of good things, because currently in 5.4 and 5.5 you can you've got namespaces, and you can use, I think you can do it in 5.3 actually, as well. You can actually use, you say I want to use this class, etc. Now you actually in 5.6 be able to use a function as well, and namespace functions, and call them as different. So I want to use this function as, and call it a foo. I want to this function foo and call it as bar, and then that is amazing, because that allows you then to keep the kind of functional procedural, if you want to call it, but the simplicity, because I love Java. I was speaking to a guy on email and stuff over it, and he's great, and his way he learned, which was Java, and I learned through Java as well, but my kind of thing is, I don't know, I like PHP's way and Python's way of, and I don't know about Ruby, I haven't had enough experience, but enough to say I want to be able to I want the easiest way of solving the problem.
Yeah.
If it's an OO way, that's a great way of solving the problem because, you've got users, you've able to make classes of these things. But if it's a function that just simply says, can you please encode, like the E function in Laravel, E, and all it is it wraps the HTML entities function.
Yeah.
Now, why would you put that in I know you could put that in a class and make it a singleton because you probably don't want to make an instance of it because do you really want to make an instance of it? Is there going to be ways of doing it? Because all you're wrapping is just C functionality that's built in of the PHP core. So that's my random tangent, but it allows you to do both.
Yeah. What about Lou? I mean, sorry, it's actually when you're taking a sip of water.
How dare you? You know he's doing this. You mean...
That was so deliberate, yeah. Do you use traits at all or looked at them? Or?
I haven't really used traits at all, no. Our work servers that we use are on Media Temple. I think they're only on PHP 5.3 anyway, so I don't think they'd work. So
that is a really good point because I started trying to use it and that's when I realised on one of our boxes at work that was only on 5.3. So it is, it's quite a difficult one, isn't it? Really, because
it's like an ongoing web issue, that isn't it? Like it's a new thing, but like you want to use it, but you want to be able to use it.
Do you make your code base to fit the environment you're working on currently, or do you make it to fit if it's?
This is really
moved?
topical. This is really topical. Sorry, like I will talk about this later on because we're doing stuff.
Right.
But I agree with that. No, but I do. I'm like you lot. Look, you've got that developing environment. Well, you've got a developing environment which you can do anything you want with. But you also got the production. Now, production is important because production's where it goes. So there's no point in wasting your time with short, array syntax, traits, the latest funky thing you can do in 5 generators and all this stuff. If you're still dealing with 5.3, on the most production,
most of them are as well. And I said to Media Temple, can we get an upgrade? And their basic response was that 5.3 is stable. We know it works. We don't have any issues. It's staying at that.
That's crazy. I can't believe that Media Temple's a huge company and they are endorsed a lot by the web community. So it's quite amazing that I understand DevOps teams and stuff. And with my thing with Docker and stuff, I'll talk about later on. Like, you got to feel you sympathise with them because really we want to use all this stuff, but they're like, hang on, is this going to break what happened before? We've got to deal with these servers, okay? You've got this sandbox here, look, right, don't break it. Don't mess it up, okay? With your funky code that you want to do, you want the new syntax and stuff, right? But all I care about is making sure this server stays up 24/7 or something. So it's one of those things where, but at the same time, 5.3 is coming, I'm sure they've released their last version. So it'd be interesting to see if they go. I'm sure they'll go to 5.4 then, but 5.4 brings a lot of enhancements that you care about. Hopefully 5.5. That's the beautiful thing again, and I'll berate it all the time. Where you get your own boxes, and you do your own version, VMs and stuff like that, and you get to look. I want to use the latest and greatest and take advantage of it.
All my private stuff it's through that DigitalOcean droplet that we made.
Absolutely awesome, man, because you get the latest, you get the latest and greatest, and you get to enjoy it that way. And I think it comes twofold. I think what you then do is you gamble with the fact that there could be problems, but at the same time you're also fixing bugs that were previously around, and also you're enjoying yourself because as programmers we want to learn and enjoy the new things.
I think we're all DigitalOcean converts now, aren't we?
I'm glad. I kind of have a little bit of part. I feel
you did,
just to kind of
it's
good. I went on Mem. I love it. DigitalOcean's awesome. I thought they were a bit of a not hoax, but more like this is too good to be true at first. I'm realising no, they're just that damn good.
I can't believe how much stuff you can do on there. I haven't really ever tried to implement any of it, but it's nice to know that if I ever needed something, it'd probably be supported by
it's your own
a number of features.
It's your own box. It's virtual, obviously, but it's your own box. The base of $5, which is I think it's £3 at most. You round it up to that £3 a month.
I'm hosting about I think 7 websites on mine now, and it's costing me about £6 a month, probably.
That's
maximum.
Crazy.
Yeah,
you get 512 megabyte of RAM. You get, I think you get 20 gigabyte of SSD storage. It's amazing, and I'm actually looking to up as well because I'm looking at stuff, the 3dev stuff like the forums and stuff with Discourse because that requires a little bit more. and also my Python stuff because I'm looking at Docker and etc. and like that, and that's going to be a big thing. And yeah, it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Ed, are we discussing anything this week that's or not? Or are you?
I really think it's just no. Just ramble, mate. Ramble as you like.
You've got some exciting news that you told me yesterday.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
I am. I'm no longer.
I didn't mean to be quite as cryptic.
No,
as that.
it's all right. So yeah, three devs and maybe listeners. I am no longer freelance.
Three devs and an unemployed.
3 devs and unemployed. Just doing for it. I am now fully employed. Yes.
Oh, that poor company.
For a company.
They've seen your work, right? And they still wanted you, yeah.
I know, it was embarrassing. I mean,
and they got my reference as well.
Oh God, you smeared me. It was a smear campaign. It was just why would you want this guy? Guy's got glasses. He obviously can't see. He's got not got 20/20 vision. He does ASP. It was awkward.
That's your only language. I mean, they do know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they still So I'll be working. I'll start work on Monday. So yeah, full-time employment. So we'll see how that goes. But it's interesting, and I'm sure I'll bring it up in the podcast and stuff. It sounds pretty interesting, and
it's completely non-PHP.
Non-PHP, absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm not gonna lose my love for PHP. Oh, look at you, Mickey, laughing. Oh, I see. Oh, Ed, he smears PHP. I love PHP.
Yeah.
But
take that out of the equation. It means you don't really have that much to talk about.
Absolutely, So this podcast is gone now. So goodbye, guys. It's been great talking to you, and see you on the other side. Anyway, no. We've talked about everyone's weeks, have we?
I still had something to say.
You had something to say. What were you going to say?
The other thing I did was it's not really interesting to be honest with you, but I for like a freelance site I did like about 6 months ago. I took out the old version of TinyMCE, which is like version 3 in version 4. But it is a lot nicer. You can do with like your HTML5 tags.
Is this the one? Is it now that you can actually do inline as well, which looks super sexy? Oh, that looks super sexy.
But yeah, it's pretty decent. The only thing, which is my usual kind of moan, is like when they change certain things. Like
it's for the web. For the web.
Yeah, I created.
I don't know if you guys can read what I've got written on my list this week.
Oh
yeah, that third one down. WYSIWYG editors.
Ooh, well up for this. We're gonna have a good old little chit chat about that.
Yeah, but basically, like you can make your own custom file browser when so they click the little icon to pick an image, and I'd done that before for the last version. I'd done a little tutorial on it and everything, and I had to like redo all that basically to fit in with the new API and everything.
So so do they not provide it out of the box then, or do you have to add it on afterwards? Because
I think there's like a plugin you can get
paid for.
But to be honest with you, it's not a lot of work to do it yourself. So I kind of think, well, I'd rather do it myself.
I remember FC UK. I think that's the one that I had to add.
FCK, but then it's CK editor, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you had to add in the CK editor bit if you wanted.
Oh, you had to. There was like a paid version, wasn't there?
There was, if you wanted a little bit.
There was an Ed version as well.
An Ed version,
which just had it was still illegal. It just was me just playing around with learning the JavaScript of it. Anywho, so yes.
They were the two like web things I kind of done this week. Really,
very cool.
With I've got a couple of things, but they're more my hot picks selection.
Hot picks of the week.
Yeah.
Why do WYSIWYG editors, whenever you hit the save button, just insert a blank paragraph at the top of whatever it is you're saving? You guys found that?
Oh, you sound like one of the account managers. I say one of the account managers. Every single account manager at my place, they always moan about TinyMCE, and I'm like, and they always say, "Can you change this?" I'm like, "No, absolutely not. Get away from my desk."
I don't want to get in the code. I do not want to have to deal with this.
It's like, yeah, I know what you mean. It does, it puts in a lot of crap that you
get what you're given though, don't you? At the end of the day, if you want to make your own, fair, but then you're going to spend the hours. I mean, that's the
I'm tempted to give it a go. I'm definitely tempted to give it a go.
To make your own one?
Yeah.
What would you call it?
I just haven't got the time at the moment.
CK?
Don't know. Doesn't insert blank paragraph at top of your...
Lou, CK it up without the blank paragraph.
I'll tell you another thing that it does, and I actually tested this out on 3 different ones. I tried to create a link from some of the text that was in the box. I tried to set target blank. Every single time I saved it, it got rid of the target blank.
Really?
That's a
So
design
I thought
feature.
I'm going to have to
Design
try and
feature.
do.
Not an
Surprised
error.
by
That's
that.
a design feature. They knew that you didn't want that to happen.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, I must admit, I was tempted at one point myself, but I think there's a lot of work there. A lot of work. I think that would keep you entertained.
I was googling a lot yesterday, and the documentation and tutorials for doing it aren't that great, and they're all quite old now, I think. So
Yeah. I think
it's
use something like, I don't know, you probably want to use something like Ember or something like that, because that's a huge JavaScript application, isn't it? I mean, I think you want some sort of framework to do that, but I think you will be looking at it. I don't know. For me, I think that'd probably be like a year's work.
I think
VB
VB script. I think VB script. You want VB script?
VB script. Yeah, that's probably the way forward. That'd be amazing.
most of the ones I found included that. So.
Oh dear. But
or you've got to pay a bucket load, because the guys that
That's
have made good ones know that they're sought after,
hell yeah.
and they're going to charge you a bomb for the privilege.
I think, yeah, it's kind of an interesting little dynamic, because I think there are quite a few on GitHub if you have a look, and you can help kind of make them better and stuff, which I think is kind of a cooler way of doing it. I'll send you some. I'll put it in the show notes as well. There's a couple actually.
Yeah.
Surprised Google doesn't offer some sort of flavour.
Well, Google doesn't like people. No, joking. But no, I think it's it is. I think I'll send you some more, because actually talking about it was on Loosely Coupled, I think, the podcast, and also PHP Town Hall this week. They were talking about burnout, but they were also talking about OSS, open source software, and that kind of thing. Where actually there are quite a few projects out there now that they're a little bit rough around the edges, but then you could, if you thought, what, this sounds a pretty cool idea, they've got a good direction and stuff, and maybe help pull requests and give like that. And I definitely agree with that. Like, helping them, and they've done a lot of work, you've done a lot of work, and you just give it for free now.
Yeah.
Obviously giving it for free with Mickey, with his infomercials and stuff. It's just a hard deal with it.
Outrageous.
We digress.
How's your web design coming on, Mike?
Yes.
You know what? Since that last podcast, there's been so much support to keep the Brown website.
Brown. It is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. I'm actually still waiting for my designer. He's been pretty lazy, so.
Is he going to listen to this and be like, "You arse"?
Is this the guy that did our site, our 3D
He did,
site?
yeah.
He's a great designer. I want him on the podcast.
Good.
That's the thing. Can I just say, please, Jason, come on the podcast. It'll be awesome.
He's quite shy.
I know, but I really want him on the podcast because he's really intelligent and really awesome. So it'd be great. So if he wants to come on anytime, just hit us up.
I'd love to get him on. Yeah. I really would. I mean, you guys need to tweet him and
I think there's definitely kind of a bullying mentality there that we need to do. Kind of like, hey, you want to come on the podcast? I heard you want to come on the podcast. You want to come on the podcast? The weather's nice today. You want to come on the podcast?
He's a great guy, and I think it would be really good to get him on.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
He's got that flair that you're either born with or you're not, and
it's the hunger.
I'm definitely not.
It's the hunger.
Well,
yeah.
Consider me a scientific experiment then, because I'm definitely going down this path.
Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, you told me about this. Yeah, you want to kind of get more into the design side of things.
I just want to learn how to do it. I don't want to keep having to throw money at people when I get asked for a website. I want to be able to think, maybe I can come up with ideas myself, and things like.
You have to open up Photoshop though, and that's the scariest.
Photo what?
Photoshop. I know. Photo what? Photoshop. It's going to be like, what the hell?
Photoshop.
The photo. You're gonna have to do that. That's scary. I don't want to do that. There's so many variables in there.
There's certain design principles I guess you can learn. Anyone can learn.
Yeah.
But the inspiration type of thing, I just don't have that. And I'm happy not to have that. It's like, everyone has their own skill set.
This is where I quite like the idea of being like an all round kind of guy. Maybe not specialise in front end, back end, or being a bit of everything. That's Ed's going.
Have you taken certain steps to go down this route? Then are you ordering a book to kind of learn, or?
I'll tell you what. I subscribe to TuxPlus.com, which is probably the best resource that I found, and there is so much stuff on there. I thought, it's a great site by cutting edge people with doing cutting edge tutorials, and I just thought, start working my way through that and just see where it goes, and once
you'll be a pixel pusher before you know it. Only joking. I love them. Designers, they're amazing. But I can't do your job.
Even from just having a kind of take on the design of this site, I've been doing last week. Kind of as a programmer, your initial what you do, you just get straight on the computer and you just try and start coding it up, don't you, and try and figure it out in your head as you go.
I think we deal with the sense of the beauty in the code. There's been a couple of times when I've been like, but it's a beautiful piece of software.
Yeah.
I know the UI looks crap, but it's a beautiful piece. Don't change it. It's beautiful. Because it's all modular. Why are you going to make me do this?
I'm the same. I mean, I'm looking at code and thinking, "Oh, that's beautiful."
It's
like
I don't want
the
to
indentation, perfect.
It's just,
as few lines
it's
of
like
code as possible.
I've run it through all these code standards. It's beautiful. I've been PS2 standard. Please don't make me change this.
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, I want to move it." But I was like, "No."
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of the beauty. I think that's kind of the. It's that whole sanding thing, isn't it? You're going against the grain. You've got a designer and a developer, and they both pretty much are against each other, but we work together. In the end of the day, to produce a product that we both like.
I think it's quite a jokey type of banter.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because I think any developer who thinks that they are like above a designer is completely lying, and also I think a designer who thinks they're above a developer is lying. Because together, if you get two together who are great, who work together great, they're gonna produce some amazing stuff, and there's a reason being that together, and they're two different.
Same
dynamics.
way that you have an architect and a builder. You wouldn't
That
really
is such a good parallel.
That's what it is, though, isn't it?
Such a good parallel. Yeah, you've got your architect designing it, and then you've got your builder actually does it, and that's such a great dynamic parallel. Sorry.
Whereas I'm going to be more of an odd job man.
That's right, me. Rough around the
bit of
edges,
everything.
Yeah, Jack your lad. I'll come round. I'll do it for £100.
Yeah, no, I do realise though that the front end side of things is something that I really, really need to focus on. Particularly now, I'm nearly through all this private work, and I can thankfully
How is that
get
going,
back
by
to.
the way? Like, because are you properly behind it now soon, or?
Yeah,
Sorry, there was a interesting because they were talking about Loosely Coupled podcast. They were talking about burnout and stuff, and I don't know whether that that kind of must have played a part in it massively.
I burnt out about 3 weeks ago, to be honest, and it was all getting a bit tiring and stressful. But once you've said yes, and obviously you need the money at the end of it, so you have to see it through as best you can. So. When you do get to the end of it, it is a good feeling, and obviously if the results that you've produced are good, then that helps as well.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed what I've been doing, particularly with the golf website that was launched last week. At least that was something specific to a hobby of mine. The first proper golf site that I've made.
That must have been pretty cool because, to see that go live and then actually the feedback on that and everything.
Yeah, I got some good feedback, a lot of good Facebook shares and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
awesome.
It's all a start. And obviously, looking to go full-time freelance one day, I'm not really in a position at the moment to turn anything down. So it's just all happened to have hit me all in one go.
It's a learning curve, isn't it? And it's hard to say no to someone.
I tell you, so I have learned a few lessons already that going forward, like handling the people that I'm dealing with, like it's amazing how little information that they want to give you, and they expect you to work out the rest on your own. Just little things like
some web voodoo. It's like, we want a website.
Yeah. It can be frustrating sometimes, to the point where you're trawling through websites trying to find stuff. Whereas in reality, if you're doing it for this person, they should be giving you everything that you need, and you're the one that's making it.
They should have a direction. You're the reason why you're there is they have the direction already. You're literally the guy that's going to track it.
Yeah, this is what I did last night to some extra work I've got to finish by the end of this week. This is a different thing altogether. But I got such a vague email, and I was trawling through it, and I was like, well, I think I know what she wants me to do, but I'm not entirely sure. And I really, really hate time wasting, doing something and then finding out this is how I should have done it, because the initial instructions were poor. Yeah. So I literally got back to her and said, why don't you just put this in a bullet point list, and then that way I've got a practical list that I can.
You can tick it off. Absolutely, and you can literally email it back. I found that as well. You can email it back.
Yeah, it suits everyone.
It's tough. It's tough. Oh dear.
Yeah, so it's all.
So
good,
don't get into development, guys. Development sucks.
Absolutely. I haven't at any point said I am not enjoying what I'm doing. I'm just saying I've potentially taken on a bit too much, and it's burnt me out a bit. That's all.
I think that's it, and I think
but I think the burnout thing is serious. I think you have to be really careful of it. And
absolutely. It changes throughout time as well. kind of your ability to cope with stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like we all got into this game because we love programming, I think, and we all are the same where we kind of care about it a bit too much. I think that's a bit that's our gift, and that's also our weakness
Curse.
as well.
Yeah.
Curse, because the fact we care too much is the fact that then, like as you're saying, Lou, you want to learn more stuff now because, you know, obviously you're being kind of stuck with just doing this stuff where you want to learn. And I think that's a gift, though, because it's like, well, you're going to stay in front because you have that need to want to learn. But also it's a curse because you're going to feel like crap at the moment.
The last 3 weeks, even however long it's been since I've been doing this stuff, it's all been implementing stuff that I know how to do. It's just been like I say, churning it out. So having the time to actually sit down and read a few blog posts or watch some tutorials or start something new just hasn't been an option, and I'm really missing that. And now I'm getting excited about the fact that I can get back to that, and you know, rather than staying at the current level I'm at, you know, I want to go up, you know, get up to the next level and, you know, touch on some things that I've never looked at before, and, you know, embrace some new ideas and look at a load of the new front end technologies that are about that. You know, I'm still pretty much just muddling through that in my own.
I heard
unique
JavaScript's
way,
quite a big thing. I heard JavaScript or VB script. One of those is quite huge. I don't know. And Internet Explorer is making a buzz. Mosaic's gone out the window. I don't know.
Making a comeback.
It's making a comeback. Oh dear, sir. No, I completely agree, man. Sorry, I'm just absolutely. It's one of those. The balance thing comes into play so much with us as developers and stuff, and I think it's an interesting topic to talk about with people who are coming in and they're hungry, you know, and we all get that. We're hungry. We want to. Well, firstly, we want to impress, and we want to look. I can do this as well, you know, and I'm, you know, as good as you, and stuff like that. But also you get into this kind of dynamic where actually I'm taking on too much that I can chew, you know, and realizing, you know, take it back a bit, you know, kind of analyze where you want to be in your life as well, philosophically, kind of thing, you know,
deep,
you know, that kind of thing, take it back a bit, you know.
Well,
other than programming, where do you want to be? So anyway, that's an Ed philosophical rant there. And Mickey, what would you like to talk about?
Well, should we do hot picks?
Yes, I like the idea.
Is that all right?
This is very much a ramble, so yes, go for it, man.
Do you guys want to go first, or
who's
got
first?
some? I go first. Oh,
we've all got some. Go for it.
All right, okay, all right. So, apologies if these have been mentioned before. I don't know, but what I did have a quick look at before the show was Fontello. It's just a really nice site for looking for icons and stuff. So it kind of ties in with what Lee was talking about with design.
Do they actually package them as fonts then, Fontello? Or
you know what? I assume they do, but all I could see was like icon sets and stuff. I know I've done my usual thing where I just looked at something, not actually used it, and then just plugged it. But I just
like it does.
had loads of icon sets, and they were saying that you could even just go to the GitHub repo and just download them all if you want to. Or you could use the website and just filter and get what you want. But
I can see that your website's about to get a lot more. Let's see how many of these you can get into your website in the next week.
Well,
there's not enough websites that have basketball logos on them or icons.
My real inspiration is that linkscars.coms. Michael Jordan. And is it linkscars.com?
What's that?
Have you not seen it?
I haven't. So can I just, by the way, listeners, I'm really sorry. You will hear a hiss in my sound. I do have a new microphone. It's a snake. It's my Mac that is still buggered. I'm scared of opening it up, I'm not going to lie. I've been looking at YouTube videos. There's too many wires that I don't want to break at the moment. I do have the suction things to take off the actual panel.
You know what, man? No guts, no glory.
I can't hear
I'll come round with like...
Oh, I'm glad, man.
No, it sounds all right to me.
It sounds... Because honestly, I'm sorry, sir. So didn't you get yours done by a person or a company? Because I'm scared to do it myself.
Look, I'll come round. We'll just put it on the screen.
I'll come round with a
sledgehammer
and we'll do a proper job on it.
Exactly. I did. I got a Stormfront to do mine. So,
saying that though, all good now though.
Yeah, I got my baby back.
Not weird at all.
And she's been purring like a kitten ever since. Not like your machine is fitted.
Oh, that sounds so wrong, but so right.
Purring.
How did you live with that 27 inches for at least a couple of weeks? And I'm going to say it like that.
Mate, I've
Yeah.
used to it all my life, so
Aren't we all?
size has always been an
Size
issue.
doesn't matter, it's how you
I
use
love
it.
the way you looked down when you said that.
Oh, dear.
Check
Yeah,
it
so
out.
we're
gonna see
videoing again
Mickey
this
is
week
just
so we
looking
can see
down
each
in
other.
pity. It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are blessed with lots of inches and some are blessed with programming skills. So I got neither, but whatever.
So, Mickey, what are your picks of the week?
My picks a week. Yeah, changing the conversation.
Oh,
Absolutely going
Yeah.
on.
Okay, so fontello.com, check it out because I've not, but that's good. Then I put down PHP traits, which I talked about, but I guess anyone who's not had a look at them, have a look at them.
We had the in the show notes. Your blog
Yeah.
post would be really cool.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
No,
but yeah,
I
you know-
had some random persons. You know?
It'll take half an hour to play with traits. Seriously, it's not that difficult at all. I'm going to ignore. I put down Cloud9, but I've not used it, so I wouldn't talk about it.
Cloud9's awesome.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't know if you
absolute
guys have
IDE,
used
yeah,
it.
like it's an awesome IDE. Oh God, who's the guy, the JavaScript guy that used it? Who actually was behind it as well? He worked on Palm Pre. He worked on the WebOS as well. I can't remember the name's guy. He's literally released so much stuff for Node and stuff like that. I can't remember. I'm gonna Batman, but yeah, Cloud9 is a pretty awesome IDE.
Yeah.
The dynamic on that is quite cool. Like the well, not dynamic, sorry, but the actual direction where, you know, we're so in kind of the web now in the cloud. Why don't we just have everything in the cloud, which we've got like Google Docs and stuff? Why not have development in the cloud then? You know, I mean, surely that should be as easy as everything else. And we're working with the cloud now, so
it's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe the way it's going to go. But my last one. Again, I've not even read this, but it did look good, and I did kind of skim read it.
Communism
Communism for programmers.
Oh dear.
Right. It's just I think, Lou, you mentioned Tuts Plus before, and again, just what an amazing site. But they've got a tutorial on it. I've been scouring everywhere, just for some more advice on like debugging with the Android development kit. And
because you've got obviously like a like a little bit of an app going on there and stuff. So you're kind of interested in that kind of dynamic and everything. So what does it bring? Is this Eclipse type? Because I know Eclipse is heavily.
Yeah, so the ADK is just Eclipse with add-on, but I just need some.
This is complete rant. Does like JetBrains and stuff have anything?
Yeah, it does, because I was googling before, and that was one of the things people were saying.
They have great. I mean, like, with PHP Storm, I am using it now pretty much exclusively.
Really?
I honestly, dudes, you've got to use it. You've got to at least try it out. I know, Mick, you tried it a little bit, but give it another shot because it helps so much. It saves you so much time, just for the sheer fact of the fact that. Well, because it's made for PHP development, so even the functions, it just tells you the whole kit. You know, it's almost the needle in the haystack thing. Oh, great! I know that the haystack comes on a needle and all that stuff. But other than that, it also is very clever in working out. Actually, I can read that class, and even though it's dynamic in nature and it doesn't actually compile anything, it can work out. Oh, I know you want this function, and this is what it requires, and everything. You would type hint in. So
well,
I
actually,
have to have a look at PHP Storm. I'm hearing so many good things about it.
Definitely worth it, sir. Definitely.
But I've got this one article I found on NetTuts, which is to do with debugging. But I would ask if anyone who's listening who's built an app, and especially the Facebook authentication and stuff, anyone who's got any useful resources, tips, third-party applications.
Mark.Zuckerberg@facebook.com is the guy.
Please do send me any resources. I don't know where they would send that to our central.
Yeah, go contact@3devsandmaybe.com or
tweet.
if you want to just tweet you or tweet every. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I need help. So anyone who specialises in that kind of thing, please let me know. That'd be great. And that is my my hot picks, really.
That's cool,
so Lou.
Lou, how are you doing?
Just quick, Ed, have you bought the personal license for PHP Storm then?
I have. I actually purchased it legitly as well, like full on.
What do you not normally, or what are you trying to say?
There's a couple of things. No, everything that I've got, I legitly download. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You were related. Yes. So no, legitly, I love it. The product they've produced is amazing. Actually, Vagrant support, command line built in. It's everything. It's funny because random tangent. Obviously, we had Joe Watkins last week, and we were talking about IDE. Well, we were talking about what he used and stuff, and there was like a tweet from some person who was joking about, using IDE and stuff. But I don't think like that, in a sense of using IDE as almost like, I love Vim. I know Vim. I know Vim pretty well. I've been using it. I understand that. I don't know Emacs, but I understand, obviously it's compared to Vim and everything, and Emacs is pretty much the OS of the, the text editing world. But I kind of feel like I want to make my job as easy or as smooth as possible. And I feel PHP Store makes my life in the PHP world so much easier with the fact that I can literally do Control R and it will run PHP Unit and do all my tests similar to how I would use it in NetBeans and Eclipse with JUnit. It's great. I know I could do without plugins and stuff with Sublime and stuff, and I think that's what Joe, was talking about last week, which is great. You load up anything and, you're going to put the plugins in. It's going to become a bloatware and stuff, but certain projects does require, you've got a massive unit test base, and you could use the command line, but I actually prefer a little bit of pretty, kind of thing, and also things like command coding standards and stuff. In this project that I'm working on, I kind of have enforced PSR2 just for the sheer fact that I believe it's a good way of going, and it's a standard that a lot of people have worked with. PHP Storm is perfect for that because it comes out the box that you can actually legitimately just install it, and it will even just say, oh, by the way, mate, we don't allow this in PSR2, and that's in the IDE and the code editor itself. So I
like the idea of that. That forces you to learn good habits.
That's it,
Definitely.
Absolutely, man. And it's just great because I want to make my life easier. I love text editors. Don't get me wrong. Like Vim's awesome. Vim's amazing. And the plugins and Pathogen and stuff like that. I do use it a lot. And the same with Sublime. I do use that a lot as well. But I do believe you use the thing that's easiest for you at the time, like for what needs to be done.
Are you limited to just one machine with your license, or?
I haven't actually tried that. That's a good point, actually. I haven't actually tried that yet.
I'd want to know if I'd be able to use it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I haven't actually tried that yet. I've only got it on my Mac at the moment because I've only got one. But that's a good point. I have to see what happens
because it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. No,
arguably not cheap.
Absolutely no. It's not. It's not. I mean, Sublime. I remember paying for Sublime stuff. That's like 60 or something. I pay. I find that I'm happy to pay for stuff that I believe the people have been working on it actually give a damn. And they give a damn. Like the fact they put Vagrant support in, it's like, they obviously know people want to use that. Composer support, they got Composer support in there. And everything about it is like, you're making my life easier. That's their motto, like their MO is to make our lives easier as developers, and I love that. And it's the same with all theirs because they've got one for Python and they've got Ruby, and JetBrains is a great company. They've released a lot of good ideas.
Yeah. I mean, before that, I'd never even heard of JetBrains, so I've just had a look at that. That looks cool.
Anyway, Lou, so have you got any picks of the week?
Oh yeah, sorry. It's a bit early days to call it a pick, but yeah, in my freelance thing I'm doing at the moment, I'm going to be implementing MailChimp into it because that looks really cool. Have you guys used it?
I've only used it very vaguely.
I know they use it at my workplace, but I've not personally used it. No.
So what? Can you give a rundown on that, Lou? What actually is MailChimp for the users?
It's a brilliant facility that you can integrate with your website that allows you to handle like email subscribers and send out big mailing campaigns and things like that. So rather than actually because initially I was gonna build it into to the framework that I've made, but I found this, and everything's there, and it's so easy to implement into your website and stuff. But
so they deal with all the problems that email, like your server may become blocked because you've been sending too much email. That I remember that our old company, you're going to get blacklisted and stuff like that. That sounds awesome. And you're able to customize your email and just send it out as you want, and they'll deal with the whole load of that.
It's interesting because like one of my big things is that I like to try and code and make as much stuff as I can because that's just the way I like to do things. I've kind of I still very much believe in that, but when you get the opportunity to work with these tools, you realise how good some of these things are, and I just wonder sometimes if by having that philosophy am I depriving myself of using some of these amazing things that obviously are going to make my experience certainly a lot better and the end user's experience a lot better.
I suppose, yeah, it's that kind of juggling, isn't it? It's that seesaw of like in the middle, you know.
It's just when you look at the amount of functionality that MailChimp has, just like everything from obviously organising the campaigns to then making the HTML templates to importing a list of subscribers nice and easily. I just think if I was to try and build that, it'd take me forever.
They've solved, yeah, and that's the whole idea of separation of concerns, isn't it? It's like they're dealing with that problem, allowing you then to deal with your problem. And I think I definitely need to start embracing some of these technologies a lot more than I have been. I think it's more the case of like it's a hard one, isn't it? Because then that's whole like it's that not written here mentality. I think that's a big topic. You know, like as developers, we're kind of like, well, I want to write everything because I know everything supposedly, and it's allowing.
That's the stance I've tried to take with most of the stuff that I've done. So.
And I think that's a good stance. I think it's a good stance to take in a sense that you want to learn everything, but I think then there's a stance of like, well, actually, I can't learn everything, but I at least know where to look, and stuff like that. I know there's a famous quote. I think it's Einstein. And he said, a genius isn't someone who knows everything. He's someone who knows where he can find something. And I think that's, I'm sure I'm probably wrong. Sorry, listeners. But, someone said that. And to me, it read, no, not even close. So
no, I was just saying unbelievable. I have no idea. What did you think he said?
No, he said, I don't know everything. I just know where to find stuff.
Well, Einstein said that.
I think so. I
find you're lying to me. I'm going to Google that. I'll put myself on mute.
Okay, please do, because I think I know someone influential said that to me. Well, not to me, obviously not me.
Well, he thinks it's himself, doesn't he?
This is awkward now.
He thinks
carry on. I'm going to Google it while you.
Oh dear! No, this is where I go
wrong. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Anyway, no.
I have wondered if I missed a bit of a step with that, because I think certainly part of the learning process is just the simple part of being able to implement these things. That's not always straightforward. You have to learn that as well in working with APIs and stuff like that.
I think there's a lot of it's tough because I think there's a lot of barriers with everything. Like we as developers, I think we're all kind of like what. We're the greatest, and like this is my code. He didn't say it, did he, Mickey?
He did, which makes this very painful.
Did he really?
He said, "I don't need to know everything. I just need to know where to find it when I need it." Albert Einstein. There you go.
Boom.
You pretty much got it right word for word.
That quote to me is what I live by, because I don't know everything. I know nothing. I just work really hard to find out where I can find it. And this is when it comes down to when you were talking about like exams and stuff.
See, mine would just be, I don't need to know everything, I just need to know Ed. That's kind of like...
And then my idea would be, I don't need to know everything, I just need to know where to find it. And so we work this chain,
It's a good chain system works. Yeah.
And my motto is, if I don't know it, there's a good chance it will come up on one of Ed's quizzes.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. But yeah, I kind of go, it's a tough one because... I'm glad that's actually legit, because I'm sure it was. I was like,
you have impressed me today. That's
really?
good.
Well, no, but then that kind of that makes me feel kind of happy that this genius is the same as us. We are what we are. We don't know everything, but as long as we know where to find it, and the fact that we've got Google now, and we've got Stack Overflow, we've got all these things.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy to find what we want to find. And I think that's unfortunately with like the education system and stuff, everything like with the whole idea of exams is in my case completely not bogus, not in a bad way, but more kind of sense that it's more in the real world you will have Google.
Yeah.
You will be able to cheat in a sense, like you can find websites online that will then give you the answers.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to learn stuff. Like, how have we all learned? We've all learned through stuff like Lynda, through stuff like Toots Plus, through stuff like Stack Overflow and everything. So I think...
Completely agree with that. That's a really good point.
Yeah, yeah.
Exam scenarios are strange, aren't they?
They're so specific and so surreal and so fake in a sense.
I think they're very old school. I can't imagine exams existing in the way they do now, say in like 10 years' time.
It'd be so interesting where that kind of, because another thing I found hilarious was when I was doing my degree. I'm sure, well, Mickey, you've had this with so we're doing the computer science degrees, yeah? Or you're doing masters, Yeah. But we write down stuff. Now I had to write code with a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Now, okay, why did I have to write down code with a pen and paper? I'm never going to do that. I'm going to write notes down. I'm going to write, BDD. I may have, some scenarios and stuff with paper development, but I'm never going to write down code with a pen and paper.
See, I had that in my exam. There's quite a lot of like writing code, and it's
so fake. It's so. But I think that as you say, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from that.
You wrote code in my birthday card.
I did.
Ed did.
Yeah,
it was true,
and it failed.
Confirmation error. It was a One Direction. It was a One Direction card, and I loved it. And I thought to myself, there was happy birthday and some other messages. I thought, I'm going to wrap this in a wild true loop because I just want you to have a good time. I don't want this party to never stop.
When I left our old company that we worked together, you did it in there. Do you remember what you wrote? Because it was brilliant.
I can't remember actually. Wild true. It was something like wow.
I think it was something like, if leaving, echo, best of luck, or something like that. Echo Lewis, if leaving, echo, best of luck.
Oh.
So I thought that really means a lot,
Well, was it truthy? That's the thing, the leaving part, You never leave in my heart.
Well, it was. I think you missed out a semicolon. So.
It didn't compile. You've got to have that subject three.
It wasn't in PSR2 either, so I wasn't very happy about it. But I got what you meant.
I hate to interrupt this kind of Brokeback Mountain scene, but did you have any other picks, Lou?
No, I think that's it.
Hey, man.
So, hey, how long have we got with you two? Because it's almost 10-2.
Well, yeah.
Go for it. Should we get into the meat of this? So I've got two picks.
Yeah.
One of them's going to start a discussion that I think was quite interesting. Kim. She worked at. You're saying no, you don't know Kim. Obviously, you know Kim. She worked at 360 Software Solutions with us. She sent me. She was looking at like Lorem Ipsum text. It said no. I've just completely. What was sorry?
Was she? I don't know if she was there when I was there. It doesn't really ring a bell, to be fair. But
sorry. Right. Okay. And she tweeted me this epic thing. Cheese. ellipson.co.uk. And it's hilarious for me.
That site was made for you.
It was made for me. It's almost made. It should have been made by me. It was hilarious. It is just Lorem Ipsum text that just describes different types of cheeses, which is quite hilarious.
I started going through Wikipedia biographies now.
Oh dear!
My boss gets the ump with it. He's like, "Why are you using that?" Because I get bored of looking at Lorem Ipsum all day, and everyone wants to know Ian Botham's autobiography.
It was funny because I do too. It's boring. Like, put something funky in there, and you can do some cheese in there instead. And also like images and stuff. There was an interesting one where we worked last, and one of the people there. He used to use like 1 to 9 images, and they were just funky looking images, 1 to 9. I think they were JPEGs, and I thought they were great because when you're doing ordering and stuff on simple like photo out gallery type things, and you're ordering stuff. I thought they were an interesting idea because you upload obviously 1 for 1 and 2 for 2, and you're like, I'm sure you're like me, you upload a random picture. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that the panda was the second one or something like this, but this actually gives you that kind of thing, and I thought that was kind of a cool idea. So yeah, random tangent over on that. But yeah, Cheese Lipson is an awesome website you should definitely check out. The second is Docker. Now, Docker. So
this sounds intriguing. Abe was telling me about this earlier today on Skype.
I suppose I'm going to ask both of you. How do you do a deployment nowadays?
To be honest with you, I'm a little bit renegade, and I probably still am majority an SFTP kind of guy. But I do if it's private stuff that I'll try and use Bitbucket quite a lot, but that would be mainly
so Git pull it and everything like that, and then
I wouldn't.
On that.
Yeah.
So this will be on like a droplet type thing, like a VM for that bit, and then your actual production kind of thing at work is then just a single box C panel type thing, plastic type thing, and then
exactly.
well, that's good. Yeah, that makes sense, because then you've got like a standard deployment. You've got a standard environment that everyone can share. You see in it with C panel and stuff like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
I say FTP, but we do use. I think you found it, Ed. Actually, oh no, it was someone else, wasn't it? Who we used to work with. But yeah, we use Beyond Compare.
Beyond Compare is a great kind of.
It is an amazing tool.
It's a segue, and actually, it's kind of like because for the listeners, Beyond Compare is kind of like the diff mode. It's the diff. It allows you to have the ability to be able to have I've got two files and I'll be able to diff them.
Yeah,
but you'll be able to work with FTP, SDP.
They don't do a version of that for Mac, unfortunately.
They don't.
They do.
Do they?
Oh.
Yes, I have it. I have it on my machine actually. It's in beta stage, I think, and it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. But yeah, it only came out maybe 2 months ago or something.
All right. So
I've been using it.
So
what's it called, Mike?
It is Beyond Compare just on the Mac then?
Oh, it's just called still Beyond
I think
Compare.
if you go to their landing page, it says, now available on Mac. But like I say, it has only been in the last few months. But it's again, for me, it's another piece of software that works better on Mac than it does on
Oh, really?
Windows.
So it actually works better? Because normally what they do is they kind of take away features for the Mac. And they
For me, it looks a lot nicer. It runs a lot nicer. But that's just me.
Yeah. So you're saying at the moment you've got your Plex, you've got your C panel, and then I'm assuming you've got the same version. You've got PHP 5.4, I think at the moment. You're saying about upgrading to that.
Correct. Yeah,
and
we've got maybe 5 or 6 different boxes because we try and separate a lot of stuff for SEO purposes.
Yeah. What's the SEO purpose then? Is that just to?
I think it's basically because obviously cross-linking and that kind of stuff, so we can have article sites on one box and then the proper site on another box, all that kind of stuff. It just gives us more flexibility.
Different IPs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. We completely lost, for the listeners, obviously they don't know, but we've lost videos.
Yeah.
It's really awkward.
Yes.
Let me just see if I can add myself back in. But, so how about you, Lou? Because... Is it similar?
Deployment?
Yeah, similar to scenario.
Get as much as possible. Definitely. I try and avoid the old drag and drop as much as I can. I have a few sites. I was using Bitbucket to automatically hook in and
because I remember you saying about that.
Because
it was able to hook in and then be able to push up through.
You just
SFTP.
Yeah, you push them from locally, and that's literally it. Everything's done. You don't even have to log in through SSH or whatever and pull it back down. It just does it all. So I've done that. I've done that for a few sites, but I think I've used up my. You get 10 sites on that, so I think I've used my quota. So now as much as possible, I SSH in and use Git, because that's really the way that makes most sense. Although I have a feeling you're about to tell me there's a better way, which is cool.
No, not all, man. Honestly. The funniest thing, no, is there anything more though? So are you using Media Temple at the moment? Using PHP 5.3 and then an Apache instance and all in the same box, probably C paneled, C rooted and stuff like that.
Yeah, I use Coda sometimes as well if it's small live changes and just do it straight online.
Cool. That's good. And then you bring them down when you get. I've got nothing to say, in a sense of the funniest thing I would say is, you know what, deployment is a tough scenario that still hasn't been solved.
I know it's something we were going to go into in depth this week, and we just kind of just chatted away. But that's the way it goes. And I was speaking to Lamin Sane. Sane. Oh, I got his name.
Yeah, that's right.
Friend of the show, and I was chatting to him earlier today, and he was saying actually he enjoys some of the more podcasts where we are just chatting. So, but perhaps we could continue with deployment for the next episode, maybe. And,
that sounds cool.
Just because it feels like it is a topic that we could explore in depth, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I just realised I got a pick as well that I completely missed off. Just as a quick one, which I know I spoke to you about this morning, Ed, which is just track traq.io.
Okay.
And that's,
yes. Sorry. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I know. There's some really good tools out there, but like Trello, which is a really good free project management tool. But
I use that at work.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
really good. But this is an alternative. It's like an open source system that you can download and install on your own network. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I've only used it for like a day, but yeah, it's to me looked pretty good. And obviously, being open source and you've got the code base, you can modify it and do whatever you want with it. But yeah,
This is better than Trello? Is it? Do you think?
I'd
be intrigued to have a look at it.
thing about Trello is obviously, I think I'm right in saying it's like responsive, isn't it? It's really nice, and obviously it's it sits on their server, so you don't have to. There's no setup really, is there, other than signing up.
Pretty much.
Whereas this track.io, it's something you actually download and set up yourself.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But in that respect, you've got the code base and you could add features and you could do all the rest, and then perhaps even, I don't know if they've got like I assume they've got like a Git repo somewhere, so you could probably, even contribute to the project. But yeah, it looks quite nice to me, and I think it's got some different type of features, and it's more kind of a developer's project management tool, where I think, really Trello's cut out for anything, isn't it? Really, you could use it for any industry, but Track.io I think is really for developers, and you've got you can like keep a track of errors, and you've got a nice change log system there. It's worth checking out, because I had to scour the web for ages trying to find something, and I eventually fell upon this. So
this is exactly what I need at the moment with all the bits and bobs I've got going on, and various emails coming in saying, "Oh, can you, if you get the chance, can you do this? Can you do that?" And rather than having to save all the emails and come back over it, I'd love it if I could just chuck it on a list somewhere.
Definitely worth checking out. Yeah, try it. But the installation process is pretty easy. Same as like installing a WordPress site, to be honest with you. That kind of
WordPress. Why don't you? That's not a condolence.
Well, edman.com, that's WordPress site, right?
The best WordPress. The best.
But yeah, I can't believe that's an hour gone already.
I think you know what? It's a good time to wrap it up.
I think it is, because I think it would be.
Yeah, I think next week definitely though. I want to hammer home the Docker thing.
Yeah, I'd be interested to learn about that.
We'll have a little nit and that about that, but yeah, I think the last couple of podcasts we've kind of gone off track with a fair few minutes more.
I think it'd be a crime to try and cover deployment in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so let's definitely do that next week.
Okay then, guys. Well, this has been 3 Devs and a Maybe. I've been your host, Ed Mann, along with the Tiger Woods, Lewis Cairns, and the Michael Jordan, Mickey B.
What's my other name? I've forgotten.
Grandmaster Sexay.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, awesome. Gonna get a t-shirt.
You're going to get a t-shirt that you definitely are, sir. Anyway, so yeah, that's been it.
Yeah,
pleasure as usual.
Yeah, have a good week, guys, and goodbye.
Follow us all on Twitter.
Absolutely. Cheers, guys.
Bye. Guys. See you soon. Bye.
You've been listening to 3 Devs and a Maybe. You can contact us at contact@3devsandamaybe.com or follow us on Twitter at 3 Devs and a Maybe.